You ever have that moment where a team makes a move and you think, wait, what are they cooking? Yeah, welcome to the Los Angeles Chargers, because today's news might be one of those hidden gem decisions that comes back in a big way. Now look, if you're new around here, let me clear something up. We may be Detroit Lions fans at heart, but this channel? This space right here? It's all about giving you a clean, outside-the-bubble look at your Chargers, no sugarcoating, no homer bias, just real talk. And speaking of real talk, let's settle something in the comments. Max Crosby. Do you despise him with every fiber of your Chargers soul, or do you secretly respect the guy because he's basically a wild animal in pads? Chargers fans, I genuinely want to know, what's your vibe? Alright, let's get into it. The Chargers just added running back Royce Freeman, and yeah, I know, practice squad, nothing big. But hold up. On this team? In this season? Guys move from the practice squad to the field faster than you can finish a Gatorade. 2 weeks from now, this dude could be taking live snaps, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. You've got Amarion Hampton still fighting his way back from that Week 5 injury, which somehow feels like it happened yesterday, and also 10 years ago. Najee Harris is done for the year. Vidal and Patterson are doing their thing, but depth is hanging by a thread. Enter Royce Freeman. Some of you may remember him from his Oregon days. From 2014 to 2017, this man wasn't just good, he was record-shattering. Left the Ducks as the all-time leading rusher with over 5,500 yards, almost hit 2,000 yards in a single season, and punched in 17 touchdowns like it was nothing. That's not normal. That's college legend territory. Drafted in the 3rd round by the Broncos. Bounced around a bit. But here's the point. Every NFL season has that one guy who gets a shot, shows up in the right moment, and suddenly becomes the storyline nobody saw coming. Freeman has the tools to be that guy if the opportunity opens up. By the way, quick timeout. If you're enjoying the breakdown, do me one huge favor, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and smash the bell icon so you never miss Chargers news that actually breaks things down the right way. It helps the channel more than you think, and I appreciate every one of you. Now, back to it. Keep your eye on this signing. The Chargers have been battered by injuries, the run game has been a roller coaster, and sometimes all it takes is one hungry back with fresh legs to tilt a game when no one expects it. And trust me, something about this move feels like it could matter a whole lot more than people are treating it right now. Stick with me, because things are just getting interesting. Look, all I'm saying is this, don't sleep on this move. People glance at a signing like this and shrug, but sometimes the quiet additions end up being the ones that flip a season. Royce Freeman was a 3rd-round pick for a reason. The man has been bouncing around the league, sure, but talent doesn't evaporate, it just waits for the right moment. And when a player with that kind of college resume suddenly becomes available, smart teams scoop him up fast. The Chargers did exactly that. But let me show you why those Oregon numbers still turn heads. Nearly 1,800 yards and 17 touchdowns in a college season? In basically a 12-game slate? That's not normal production, that's you can't stop me production. And it immediately got me thinking about something else. You ever dive back into old college highlights of legends and forget just how unreal they were? Take Barry Sanders. Everyone knows he's one of the greatest to ever touch a football, but watching those college clips, it almost doesn't feel real. Defenders weren't tackling him, they were just participating in the attempt. You try to wrap your head around the stats, and even then it feels like you're reading fiction. And of course, when you start digging, the numbers look so insane you end up double-checking them just to make sure you're not hallucinating. It's that level of crazy. And that's why Freeman's college dominance is worth remembering. No, he's not Barry Sanders, nobody is. But when a guy once put up video game production like that, there's always a chance a spark is still in there. Sometimes all he needs is the right moment, the right team, and the door cracked open just wide enough to squeeze through. Stick with me, because the Chargers might have stumbled into something more interesting than anyone realizes. So here's the wild part, when Barry Sanders finally became the full-time starter in 1988, he didn't just have a great season, he detonated college football. More than 2,600 rushing yards, 37 touchdowns, plus returns that pushed his total to 39 scores. Almost 3,000 all-purpose yards. And he averaged 8 yards every time he touched the ball. That's the kind of production that makes the stat sheet look broken. And then you look back at Royce Freeman's Oregon records, impressive, no doubt, but it puts into perspective just how freakish Sanders really was. Still, Freeman's numbers weren't small. They were the kind that make coaches raise an eyebrow and whisper, maybe we can revive that. But let's shift to something far more urgent for the Chargers, Justin Herbert's status. This whole situation feels strange. In a good way. He wasn't placed on IR. No, shut him down for a month. No vague timeline. Just day-to-day. That alone tells you the Chargers believe this isn't a multi-week situation. And the fact that the game is on Monday night? That extra 24 hours matters, especially when the injury is to his non-throwing hand. Every report out there keeps circling back to the same thing: give it a couple days, let the swelling drop, stabilize it, and suddenly the door swings wide open for him to suit up. Now normally when a player is hurt, the whole, just tape it up and go, thing is nonsense. You can't tape a torn tendon back into existence. You can't duct tape a broken collarbone and jog onto the field. But a hand injury on the opposite side of the throwing arm? That's one of the rare cases where taping actually can make a difference. And with the Chargers hosting the defending Super Bowl champions under the lights of Monday Night Football, man, it just feels like Herbert is going to do everything in his power to be out there. The energy. The moment. The stakes. Stay with me, because the next update on Herbert could shift the entire outlook of this game. There's something about this upcoming Monday night that feels different. Not just like another primetime slot, more like the atmosphere is finally rising back to a level the Chargers haven't felt in a long time. The stakes are real now. The urgency is real now. And for the first time in weeks, the runway actually seems to be lining up in their favor. Herbert being day-to-day only adds to the tension. It's the kind of update that keeps everyone leaning forward, checking for every little report, but the overall tone? It's optimistic. The timing works. The matchup works. Everything about this moment feels like the season is tightening into a playoff-style mindset. Because let's be honest, the postseason practically starts now. Yes, there's a little room for error. Yes, other teams are going to stumble. But the Chargers can't sit around hoping for anyone else to hand them a path. From this point on, every game carries weight. Every win shifts the picture. And every loss shrinks the margin. Some teams are already in must-win territory with no wiggle room. The Chargers aren't quite there, but they're close enough to feel the pressure breathing on the back of their neck. And that's exactly why this next matchup matters so much. Win this one, then worry about the next. One brick at a time. And thinking about all this had me drifting for a moment, imagining what it would be like to catch a game at SoFi. One of those bucket list stadiums. One of those places where the sound feels bigger than the building. Maybe one day I'll make the trip out west. The travel from Michigan is a whole adventure on its own, but man, it'd be worth it. Anyway, this stretch of the season is about to get wild, and the Chargers are right in the thick of it. Stick with me, there's more coming, and you won't want to miss what happens next.